Started. Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
के जाने थे रे उसन पागल खान लखे हुए इतना धाड़ अपने आप पे देहात के
I'm today we have some uh, even Nilanjan to Hyderabad. I'm traveling to Hyderabad. Therefore, came to my. I just first have to come to my in-laws' house, and then from here I take a flight to wherever I want to go. So yeah. Yeah. We are able to see you in different. Yeah, that is true, Harihar. You will see me in Hyderabad, in my Hyderabad house. You will see me. Let me close this. Ekta lives in Hyderabad. That's great. So one question, in MongoDB we save data in document format. So if we want to save videos, photos or live stream, which kind of DB we use? Okay, so Sakib, what we do is we have a different we have a different service called as CDN. There's a content delivery network which saves all these files, the CDN networks, which give you a storage online. And then what happens is your videos or files are saved on top of these CDN networks. And then the link to these files are saved in your DynamoDB. Sakib. MongoDB. MongoDB. So you can think of it like YouTube. In YouTube, it gives you link URLs to the videos, and then videos are saved somewhere else, and then the DB only saves the URL to the video. Something similar happens with CDN. CDN. There are a bunch of CDN services. Even Amazon provides it. I don't know the name of CDN that Amazon provides. Let me give you the name. CDN by AWS. S3 is the name of CDN. S3. What if we what if we want to upload videos in MongoDB? You cannot upload videos in MongoDB. It's a document database, Deepak. You can only save the URL of the video in the MongoDB. Okay. I also do other jobs. I work for Talent Sprint as an instructor. I've seen in MySQL that data is stored in sometimes .gzz in also there. Yeah. So exactly. So what you do is save the data in CDN, and I'll tell you why you save data in CDN. Since this topic has come up, why is it called as content delivery network? So basically, what happens is this content delivery network, or S3 bucket, which is called as S3 bucket, they have data centers all over the world. So now what happens is, if somebody is living in India and they are trying to access your data, the link to CDN will not go to US. It will not fetch data from US. A CDN will be sitting in India itself. Although DB can be Dynamo DB might be in US, but or maybe in some remote location in India, but the server for CDN will be very close to Delhi or very close to Bombay. So CDN networks are very close by, nearby to the location that you have, where people are calling it. Okay, so that's another benefit of having CDN. The latency is reduced because CDN networks are spread all over the world. So when you save data on S3 and you decide to spread it across the world, anyone can get it very easily. Okay, Sakib, Sakib, is that make sense? Does that make sense? This is another benefit of. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
नहीं जान रहा उतना हिस्ट्री।
Sakib.
हिस्ट्री उतना नहीं जान रहे हैं।
What CDN does? Do we keep replica? Yeah, replica on CDN. So we keep replicas, and CDN saves other types of data. Larger files you save on CDN. Okay. For example, videos and photos, all these kind of files you save on CDN because you don't want to save them on your DB. Okay. You save your files on S3 bucket. S3 is one kind of CDN, and what happens is in S3 is all over the world they have their data centers, and even in nearby positions. I mean, S3 data centers will be present multiple places in India itself. So when somebody from Delhi is trying to access a video, they can access a video from maybe. How about live stream? Live stream happens using another. Uh, happens using similar databases. Live stream happens similar databases. First, the data goes to multiple CDNs, and from multiple CDNs, they go into whosoever is calling them. Okay. Yeah. So, uh, in some cases, we store videos in server itself. Yeah, I mean you can store it, but then the idea is you will have a basic storage on server, but it won't be like you will have to serve from one server itself. You cannot serve it from multiple places. But with CDN, since it is spread out all over the world, the video gets served very easily. Deepak, you save the video on your server, and then you can have the link to the location in your DB. There are some sorts of pipeline used for live streaming. I'm not aware of that, Ekta. I'm not aware of the exact way that live streaming works. I'm aware of uh, how the network connection happens, which is using this. Uh, which is using this. I discussed that before. Uh, there was a there's a protocol that is used for live streaming. Do you know about CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous development pipelines, Deepak? They are basically for suppose you want to do some checks before your code goes online, so you can perform those checks by using CI/CD pipelines. Okay, and they have I mean, once you upload that code, once you make a commit on your code, the CI/CD takes care of rest of the things. That's the reason why CI/CD is used. But who made CI/CD? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who made CI/CD. Do you know that, Deepak?
अच्छा तो मीटिंग में तो जाबे नी ठीक है मीटिंग में जाबे मीटिंग में हाजिर हुई लेबे
Just an add on to Sakib's question. So, is it possible that every live video gets recorded automatically? Does, is it possible that every live video gets recorded automatically? Oh, I don't get that question, uh, Deepanshu. Is it possible that every live video gets recorded? So actually, you will send packets of the data, na? It will get recorded on the server that is using it, and then you will send a small package. So there is a connection that happens, Dipanshu. Basically, between there's a kind of connection. I'm forgetting its name. I think it's what is it called? HTTP. HTTPS stream. I think streaming connection is there. I'm forgetting. No, it may not be. It may not be the. You may not have to record it because you just send the small packets and you don't care about recording it. Okay. So if there is one person here and one person here, they can have a connection and they can just exchange the packets and they can decide how many packets they will. Yeah, yeah, that is true, Ankit. Streaming file can be difficult sometimes, but the basic idea is you don't have to record everything, Dipanshu. The idea is you can just send smaller packets of video as long as the stream is not broken, and the video will keep on updating. So have you noticed that? Uh, yeah, yes, you can collect the packets if you want. Have you noticed that on a call, you're having a call on WhatsApp, suppose, and there is bad internet connection. So after a few seconds, so there was the video gets frozen for some time, and then it gets delayed by some seconds, and then the video gets played after some seconds. So the video gets reconnecting, not just reconnecting, but the video might get played at a speed which is like which is a little faster than the usual speed. Yeah, 1.5x speed. So in that case, multiple packets have come together, and the video is trying to show it to you. Then, just like in live classes getting recorded, is it recording in packets? Yeah, it is recording in packets. Yes, streaming does not store anymore. So streaming does not store. You can store it if you want. For example, on Zoom, you have recordings that get stored, but it's not a necessary. It may get stored. It may not get stored. Ankit, it's up to the designer. So today we are going to learn. Today we are going to learn few concepts. Last class was not enough to cover the intro to MongoDB, and I think some of you were not happy. I don't know. I don't get to know the feedback, so I don't know. But I felt that I can do more justice by having one more class on intro to MongoDB. And in this class, I will specifically uh, discuss. I'll specifically discuss. First of all, I'm going to discuss database operations. Basically, I'm going to discuss bunch of operations. So operations. Second, I'm going to do collection operations. These are smaller topics, just few lines of code. Okay. Other than that, I'm also going to discuss CRUD operations: create, read, update, and delete on documents. CRUD operations on documents. We are going to discuss this. We are going to have a discussion about object ID function. Object ID function. And we'll discuss about find queries and different types of queries. And we will also do some GeoJSON kind of stuff. We'll discuss about GeoJSON. Okay. This is the agenda for today. See how much we can complete. And my goal with today's class is kind of, there are two goals, two broader goals with today's class. First goal is, of course, to teach you about MongoDB. But the second more important goal is to help you understand how to read documentations, because most of the things I'm going to discuss today can be discussed from can be learned from the documentation. So it's nothing new that I'm teaching you. We can learn all this from the documentation. First of all, a MongoDB Compass. I'm going to open MongoDB Compass app, and then I'll start sharing my screen. You can also open MongoDB Compass on your computers, and once you have opened it, you can work with me, work along with me. Okay. So here is MongoDB Compass, and I'll connect. So how to get comfortable with documentation reading habit? So Avijit, that's a good question actually. So sometimes what you can do is you can have kind of a resource apart from the documentation. For example, you can have a book, or maybe now you don't need a book also. Now you can have something like Chat GPT with you, and then you can work out documentation and Chat GPT together. So I'll tell you how it can be done. Just give me one second. Uh, I'll share my whole screen and I'll teach you how you can read documentation easily, or not just documentation, but anything that is any difficult document that you are trying to read. So here is what you can do. Let me open a new window, and in this window, I'm going to open. The way ChatGPT works is it can interpret uh, language very well. So just give me 1 second. I'll just go to ChatGPT. And what you can no, what is this? Open AI, ChatGPT optimization. No, try ChatGPT. Yeah. So if you are on ChatGPT, you can work from here now. Okay, log me in again. Uh, oh, it's out. Anyways, so it should not be. I have one more access, but I'm not having access here. Let me refresh once. Yeah, now it is available. Uh, it's available now. Sometimes it takes few seconds, but that's okay. Now it's a new service, so these are the problems with a new service. Now I'm going to open. Uh, I will not be able to see chat for a few minutes. I'm sorry for that. Sir, whenever I open, it always saying certificate capacity, right? What to do? Just refresh it, Nilanjan. You can refresh ChatGPT and it will give you. So here is ChatGPT uh, along with the documentation. Let me open MongoDB uh, documentation, and you open MongoDB documentation along with ChatGPT. Okay, and then what you can do is you can search like this. What are the key features of MongoDB? And search like this, and now it will give you answer about it. And then uh, while it is writing the answer, let me check if there is something on the chat. I refresh it now and now got it. Thank you, sir. Did you register? Yeah, he registered. Okay. So now again, I'm going to open the chat GPT. Now it is giving document oriented indexing replication. It is giving a lot of details about about MongoDB. These are the features of MongoDB. But if I want to know, say, use MongoDB, uh, go to the key documentation. It has a getting started guide, and you can have bunch of you can have about aggregation operation. Suppose aggregation operation is something that you want to learn more about. You can come to a chat GPT and ask about what are the aggregation operations in MongoDB. Okay, you can search here. It will give you a general guideline, and once that general guideline is with you, you can read rest of the documentation. So now you can have a bunch of ideas about it. And then what you can do is you can read about aggregations now. Aggregation operation process multiple document return computed results. So you can do aggregation. It is similar to map and reduce. Okay. Again, this will come as you will read more documentations, but and then these are all the documents that you have. Now what you can do is you can ask ChatGPT to give you some examples of say project. So now you can have can you give an example of project uh, operation. Now it will give you an example of project operation, and while it is giving you the example, you can see how this aggregation works. Okay, match does something, filter does something, and slowly and steadily you will learn about it. Now it is doing project. Uh, Now project operation on aggregation pipeline. Uh, Title, author, and year fields from document and books. The year field also transformed using year operator uh, to exact year from the published date. Okay, so all this you can do. Uh, so all this you can learn slowly from ChatGPT. But one problem with ChatGPT is that, of course, it is not correct all the time. So, for example, if it gives a wrong answer, what you can do is you can do like this. If some line is, if there is a line that you are not able to understand in the documentation, what you can do is you can select that line. I hope I'm able to select it. How do I don't have a mouse right now. Somehow my mouse is not working. Yeah. So suppose I select this line, I control C here, and then you can paste this line here, and then you can say, please explain this. I can delete this much, and you can do, please explain this. Now you can do this, and now ChatGPT is going to read that line and explain it to you. So this is another feature. Is the video coming for everyone? Hello? Is the video coming? No? Yes, okay. Yes, okay. Sorry if it gone. Okay. So this is another key feature that you can use in ChatGPT. Okay. So you can write a line from the documentation and see all the details about that line. Okay. And then you can keep on asking questions, and whenever and open the documentation along with ChatGPT, and very soon you will get addicted to the process. So whenever a new technology will appear, you will keep these two windows open, and then you try to learn as much as possible from the two. And whenever you have a question about anything now onwards, paste the text into ChatGPT and ask the question. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. So that's how you can learn how to read documentation. Okay. So now let's go over each of those operations. I'll open MongoDB Compass, and this is our database. So I'll open first of all Mongoose. I will open Mongoose is below here. So sir, we can also get documentation on ChatGPT. Yeah, you can also get documentation. You can also get documentation in ChatGPT. I mean, it's not exactly documentation. It is very similar to documentation, Elanger. It is like any book. Even if your subject you are learning, if you are learning from a book also, you can paste a line from the book and try to understand it. Okay. So it's not documentation. It is a language, natural language processor. It processes natural language, which is basically English. So it processes English for you. Now I'll increase the font size. Yeah. And first of all, right now I'm in test data set. I'll show you some operations on data sets. Let's do a few operations on data sets, and then we'll do some operations on uh, operations, CRUD operations. We'll go to CRUD operation in a few minutes, but let me just do some operation on data sets. First operation is to show data sets. So what you can do is show and DBS. If I do this, I'll get to see all the DBs that I have. I have admin, config, CRM, DB, local, and test. All these databases are there on my MongoDB server. I can decide to use one of these DBs. So I can do use test. It will switch to already on DB test. But if I do use local, it will switch to local DB. Okay. Now I can again do switch test and it will switch to test DB. Very simple. Two operations that you definitely want to remember: show DB and test DB. Okay. Now I can also drop a database if I want. So let me create a new database, new DB. Okay. And I create a new DB. And it has been, so now if I do show DBs, there is a new database also. There is that. I don't have a collection in it, so I can just do db dot create collection, and let me name the collection as my collection. Okay. Now this collection has been created. Now if I do show DBS, it should show me the new DB as well. So new DB is also getting showed in the DBs. Use test, and I can do show DBS. Now new database is not shown because it has been dropped. So three key commands I have shown you. First is show DB. Second is use DB, use and the database name, and the third is drop database. These three commands I have shown you. Okay, any doubts about any one of these three commands? And is this kind of learning good for you? Like, are you liking how I'm teaching you these three commands? Okay. So yeah, so these three commands are for database. Now I will show you some commands on. I've already shown you one command. It will drop whichever database is currently running. So if I do drop DB right now, it will drop the test database Hariharan. So whatever database I am currently running, which is written before this greater than symbol, it will be dropped. So if I do db db drop database, this test DB will be dropped now. I can show it to you. When I was dropping this, I was at new DB database because I have done use new DB. So I was in new DB database, and then when I do drop DB, the new DB database was dropped. Okay. It will drop the database in which you are currently in. Yeah, in whatever DB you have switched, it will drop it. So that is, those were the three operations I wanted to teach you. One more operation that I have shown you is, why are you doing this? I'm just showing you the operations, Suraj. I'm just showing you the operations that you can perform on DBs. One is drop, one is use, and the other is show. Okay. There's no exact reason why we are doing it. We are just trying to learn these operations. Sir, can you please show create DB command? Create DB, there is no create. I think there is a create DB command, but typically if you want to create a DB, you can just create using use command. So whenever you want to create a DB, you can just do use new DB, and if the DB is not already present, it gets created. Create collection. Create collection is this one. Write the whatever DB you are in, write that name, write DB and create collection and the name of the collection. And whatever DB you are currently switched to, a collection will be created inside it. Okay. So I'm going to show you create collection one more time. So db dot create collection, and let me do another. Let me name this as address collection. In test data set, I have address collection. I'll use it later. Why is it? Let me. There's some problem if I include. Sir, if we try to enter a document in a collection which does not exist, it will create the collection first. Yes, exactly, Arnav. So I can show it to you. db dot. Let's say I'm inserting a doc. So let me show you the collections first. So if I do show collections, this is going to show me the collections in my DB. Right now there are 3 collections in my DB: address, order, and user. Suppose now I do DB dot guest dot insert 1, and then I insert the name of the guest, and let's say guest is Arnav. Now Arnav will be inserted in a new collection. Okay, and now if I do show collections, this is going to show me another collection which is at guest. Okay, it's not showing on campus. It show. I mean, what is not showing on campus? Vijit, have you installed Mongoose on your computer? These documents on your screen. These documents on your screen. I can show you the document. I just have to do db.guest.find, and this will show the document with Arnav. Oh, in UI. Okay, so you can have that. I can show it to you here. If I do go to say my current database is test. In test database, I have guest data. If I click on this, I get to see Arnav. Okay. So if you click there, then only it shows. Otherwise, it does not show. But today I want to primarily work from the terminal, because I think many of you appreciate that more than looking at click and drag kind of functionality. Okay. So now let's drop a collection then. How to drop collection? That's what I was talking about. So there are 2 ways to drop a collection. First is you can do db.guest.drop. If I do this, guest DB will be dropped. So now if I drop now this has deleted the guest, all the documents in the guest collection. So now if I do db.guest.find, so first of all let me show you the DB. Show collections. If I show you the collection, the guest is not getting shown here because drop is removed. But if I do db.guest.find, it shows an empty list. If I show you here, if I show you test here, test still have the guest collection. Is there a refresh option? Let me reduce the size of this. And yeah, if I refresh, where is the refresh button? Let me go to another collection, and I'd go to this collection. The guest is still in this list. Okay, guest collection is still in this list. If I click on this, Why is this document getting shown here? Uh, if I click on this, let me just name drop. Is there a refresh button somewhere? Databases, uh, local test, and guest still have that. Okay, control R. Oh, let me check control R. Yeah, control R does that. Thank you. I think that is true. Mhm. Local house, three dot. No, three dots does not have. Find connect button. Oh, there's a refresh button. Okay, good. Anyways, sorry for that. Then there is also uh, no drop is this. Drop is going to drop it. And let me do one thing. db.guest dot insert. Let me increase the font size. Insert one in guest. Sorry. db.insert one, and in this I'm going to insert name, say Avijit. Okay. Now if I do this gets inserted. Now I can do this db.guest.remove, and then I can do this. If I do this, collection is remove is deprecated. Use delete one, delete many. So remove is duplicated, but drop is there. Drop is going to delete the whole table itself. So previously, what used to happen? Remove used to delete only the collections, and drop used to also drop the database. But now remove is removed completely. So remove is no more. Either you use delete one, delete many, or delete those things. Okay. So if you want to drop a collection, you can just do. Where did it go after drop? It went away. It was not present. It was deleted. Now the previously it was like drop will not drop. Drop will drop the drop will drop the documents, and remove will drop the collection. But now everything is getting deleted by dropping. When you add something new, this command here already creates a new collection guest whenever you write this command. So yeah, therefore it is happening. Anyways, don't worry about these commands. Let me just click on clear right now. Clear is not defined. How do I remove everything? CLS. Yeah, okay. Hmm. Thank you, Nilanjan. That's very good of you to know all these commands. Okay, now so we have discussed three commands. One is to have db dot create collection, and here I can create a collection, say my collection. I can create a collection using this. There's also db dot new collection dot insert one. You can insert while inserting a command in while using the insert command, you can directly create a new collection. So name, and I can say Nilanjan. This is one way, and also you can do db dot drop. You can do db new collection dot drop. This is going to drop the collection. If I do show collection, it is going to show me the collections. Very basic commands, kind of intuitive, kind of easy to remember. So we have discussed two kinds of commands so far. We have discussed how to do commands case sensitive. Commands are yes, commands so if I do like let me check db dot address dot find. there's nothing, but if I do db
जब तक
dot
पैसा कुछ नहीं
address
एड्रेस नहीं
dot
कर मैं इतनी करनी मिस्त्री जगह पैसा भी है जरा से के ठेकेदार
my address dot insert one.
ठेकेदार बहुत पैसा नहीं
Yeah, I'll show the second command in few.
नहीं आबे हम नहीं आमू कहन
Show dbs in caps. Just give me 1 second. If I do this, I want to see if writing the name dbs in capital and small will change it. So if I do this, name and Avijit, Avijit, oh sorry, this should be inside curly braces. Yeah. So it gets inserted. If I do now db dot address dot find, no, it is case sensitive, because if I do db dot address dot find, it is going to show me this. So if you remove the cases, it is not going to work. But if I do db dot address, no, it's not working. Or show dbs, that is not gonna work. Okay, so it is case sensitive. It's not similar to SQL where case does not matter. Here case matter. Actually, it is more similar to. It is much more similar to JavaScript. So you can do let value is equal to 5, or let value is equal to Avijit, and you can have a colon after this, and then now you can do something like this: db dot address dot find, and here you can send name colon dollar value. Sorry, I can say value. Not defined. If I do this, yeah. So you can do name is equal to value. So you can do something similar to what you do in JavaScript also. Okay. You can save the name somewhere else, and then you can find it using using the language. So just like JavaScript is not case sensitive, JavaScript is case sensitive while you write it. Mongo shell is also case sensitive. Vivek, is this making sense? You seem to be awfully quiet today. Hello, Vivek. Are you there in the class? Are you following? I think he's writing the commands, therefore he's not talking. Vivek, are you there in the class? Vivek Patil? Let me see if I saw him in the starting of the class. I think I didn't see him in the starting also. No, Vishal Singh was there. Vivek I have not seen today. He's studying for his exam. No, he's not. Okay. No worries. Which exam? Oh, in his college exam? Ravindra? Okay. I wish him good luck. University exam. Okay. No worries. Where the value get stored? Value get stored in the current RAM. It will. Yes, that is true, Nitish. The value get stored just like in the JavaScript. The value get stored in the RAM, while it's stored in the memory. What is it called? Heap memory. Similar to heap memory, this also have Mongoose also have a heap memory where the value get stored. It is not getting stored in the DB itself. Okay. So it is just like run. It is stored in the runtime. Another way of calling it would be runtime. Okay. So those were the basic commands of collection. Now let's do some commands on. Let's do some commands on objects. But before that, what I can do is I can probably save the commands in a file so that you can later on review them. Yeah, we will do CRUD operations on files, but I'm thinking of basically saving these commands somewhere, so that in future when you are reviewing your notes, you can go through those commands. So I'm going to open our lovely uh, I'll open our lovely what is it called? So first is revision on this is the CRM app. Here we have revision on async. Now I'm going to create another folder which is called as to intro to MongoDB, and save it in VS Code and push it. Yeah, exactly. That's what VS Code was, something that was not coming on my tab. I'm going to save the commands on VS Code. I hope you can see the window of VS Code right now, and I'm going to save it there, and then I'm going to commit it. 14th of December 2022. Okay. In this, I create a new file. I'm just going to do it commands dot. I can do MD or I can do text. I'll do MD. I think MD is better. Markdown is better than text. And let me do commands to be commands and operations on MongoDB. First, I'll just create outline. In the outline, I'll have one topic, which is uh, database operations. Second, I have collections operations. Third, I have operations on documents. Fourth, I have, let me see, what else do I have? Okay, I cannot see that. I'll have to go back. Just give me 1 second. CRUD operations. Then I'm going to talk about object ID. So I'll have ID slash object ID. This is one more. And then we'll have query and injection operations. These are a bunch of operations that we'll talk about. There will also be geolocation. But not geolocation, it will be GeoJSON. We'll also talk about GeoJSON. Let's do this. Let me come here and write database operations. First operation that I used was show DBS. This is going to show the DBs. Operation. The above operation will show all the databases on our MongoDB server. First is this. Then you have use DB, use, and then you can have DB name, whatever is the name of the DB or what. This will switch to the DB you have to the DB whose name you have used. And then if the DB is not present, if the DB is not present, this operation will create a new DB with the given name. Okay. Then after use DB, we also have switch. No. Once we are in a DB, we can have we are inside a DB, which is typically the case. We can do DB dot uh, drop database. This operation was there. Drop database, and this is going to this operation is going to drop the current DB. These are the three database operations that I want you to know. Then I was talking about collection operations. There are a few collection operations. First is create collection. So for that, I can do either db dot create collection, and then I can do my collection, or I can do collection name. Whatever name of the collection you will give, it will create that collection. Okay. So this operation will create a collection given name. Okay. Now what else you can do is you can do db dot my collection dot insert one, and then you can insert something. Maybe you can insert name, and then you can insert a name, say Radhya. Okay. Now here what is happening? This operation will insert a new document in the collection, my collection. And this is very important. If this collection is not present in the DB, MongoDB will create a fresh collection with this name. Okay, this is how you can create a collection. And last thing we have is a drop collection. You can have show collection. This is something I'm not going to write. This will list collections in the DB. And then last we have is db dot my collection drop. It is like delete. We don't usually call when we are talking about anything other than drop database is similar to delete, but it will delete the whole database. Sir, can we do these other than in Mongo shell? Yes, you can do it elsewhere also. When you have a mongoose command installed, Mongo command installed, you can do it on the PowerShell itself. So some people can do these operations on PowerShell. Okay, and the reason why I'm teaching you these operations is that in tomorrow you will be using similar operations from your code. When you learn about mongoose, you will do similar operations from code itself. Okay, so therefore these operations are important. Anyways, these are collection operations. Now we will discuss the third type of. Sir, if we run the drop command, drop db command at work, then will we also get dropped from the job? That is true. I mean, it can, yeah, certainly you will be dropped from the job. In today's market, it is very much possible. But as long as you can do this kind of things. Replicate property shall help, but you can do this in the notice period, I guess, because if you are in the notice period or you are fired from the job, then before leaving the job, you can just drop the database from the production. Yeah, it will have repercussions. Maybe in future you will not be able to give reference from that company. But anyways, you can have your revenge. Okay. Good. Should I start CRUD operations right now? Or should I take a short break and then come back? And is it okay if I take a short break right now? I need to go. I need to. Not now. Nilanjan, is it after some time? I need a break, Nilanjan, if it's okay. Yeah. Is there a Nilanjan? Is there a problem on your end? Uh, you can try out these. Try out these. Oh, you have dinner time. When is your dinner starting, Nilanjan? It is 9 o'clock. Okay, 9:15. Okay. I'll stop the class. I'll have 9:15 then. I'll not take a break right now, Nilanjan. That's completely fine. No worries. Okay, sure. I was thinking there might be a problem, so no worries. We'll take a short break at 9:15. Maybe at 9:10 if that's okay. But yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, sure. Uh, let's do some CRUD operations. The first operation is of course insert. So we can do db.user. User is a table. Let me see. Let me just do it from here. Show collections. No, show collections. User is a table. So first I'll see what is present in the user. So I'll do db.user.find and I'll send an empty list. I don't have to send empty list. I can just do this. So there were some users I have inserted before, and Nilanjan was there, Avijit was there, Anshul was there, and Avijit was there twice. Avijit, there are two copies of Avijit in the database. Anyways, so this is all possible in, as long as the ID is unique, all this is possible inside MongoDB. Now what we can do is we can insert another person in this DB. So we can do, I have already discussed this, DB user dot insert one, and then you can do, maybe I can insert in London now. So I can do name, Nilanjan, and then comma age. I can do age like this or also like this. This is also okay. You don't have to write quotation. And what is your age, Nilanjan? Can you tell us? I don't want to have wrong database. Would you mind telling us your age? 30. Okay. Video is paused? No, video is working. I think video is working. Suraj, can somebody? Video is okay. Okay, I'll save Nilanjan's age, and if I enter, then Nilanjan is also inserted. Okay, but you cannot do something like this. You can have the value as without this, but if you do something like this, I think this will cause an error. Let me run. This is cause Nilanjan is not defined, so this will cause an error. But you can have the key as string, and value will always key you can write without braces, but yeah. Key can be written without braces, but value cannot be written without braces. Anyways, you can also insert Gauri. And I'll not ask Gauri's age. I'll just make it 18. Okay. That's okay. So now we have bunch of insert one operations, but now we can also have insert multiple values in one go, and that's also cool. We can have db dot my collection dot insert many. This is another one we can use. In this, you can have in this you need to send an array of values. Okay, and this array, sorry, in this array, we can have multiple people. So one person I will do. Acid can be done. Yeah, Avijit, acid can be done using transactions. There is something called as uh, yeah, ID is auto generated, Hariharan. But Avijit, your question is correct. You can do acid operations uh, in MongoDB using transactions. There is something called as transactions. You can read about it more. But there is something called as transaction. You can lock the database for a given transaction. Okay. So these are over the top properties applied. So sometimes you want acid property, so you can use transactions for that. But it is not a usual scenario. But of course, so in if you can do something without acid property, you can of course do acid properties. But if you cannot do away with acid properties, then so for example, in MySQL, you cannot do anything other than acid properties. You always have acid properties. In MongoDB, that's okay. You can have or not have. Both possibilities are there with you. Okay. So now I'm going to save name as Avijit. Avijit, you are going into the database thrice, so I'll just save Hariharan. Hariharan. And I'll just save age. And I'll save 22. And I'll have another person. Say, I've saved Gauri, I've saved Nilanjan. Let me see. Nitish. Nitish is not saved. So I'll say name, colon, Nitish. And age. Nitish, can you tell us your age? 21. Okay, so I'll insert these many data points into our database. And now two things got inserted into my database. So I've discussed two types of insert. One is insert one. There is also insert many. There is also one more which is called as db.mycollection. My collection dot insert. So the insert. Insert is not present. Okay, it's either insert many or insert one. Let me check if insert is also db.mycollection. Collection dot insert. Insert is deprecated. Either you do insert one or insert many or both, right? So insert is deprecated. Before that, there was also insert, which can do job of both of them. If you send only one value, it will insert one. If you send multiple values or an array, it will insert many values. So that's what the use of insert was, but now it is not there. So now I can do db.mycollection.find, and it will show all the values I've inserted so far. So it has Hariharan and Nitish, which are the values I've inserted. Other values I've inserted in the user. So maybe I can insert Hariharan and Nitish again in user. So I can just come here and let me try to do one thing that I don't know if I can do it or not, but db.user.insert many, and then I can do db.mycollection collection.find. Let me see if I can do this. This is something I've never done before. Collection find. User is the data is 1 db. Sorry, user is one collection, and I'm taking all the values from my collection and putting them into user. Do you understand what I'm doing here? So if I do this, I'll get the list of all the collections from my collection. And what I want to do is, I want to insert these values into user table. user
सेकर मात्र
collection.
में रेंट रहत रहे
Okay,
माने तो कहिया बाबू हम पैदा नहीं भेज से खम से
insert many
अरे का कहन
and insert many, and I want to insert all these values in user. So if I do this,
बढ़ाए ना मन कहिला
argument docs must be already uh, must be an array of documents. So maybe I can do this.
कितना
Let
सहन
me
बता
see.
दो सुन लो
Maximum
चला लो
call stack reached.
फोन कर लो
Okay,
बढ़िया से रे
let
हेलो कहना
array
तने अपनी को मतलब
is equal
शादी
to
करला बोला कि
db
आपने ओसन रही
dot
हो
my
ओसन
collection
के दिन जो दी
dot find
तो गांव जे रहो तो
dot
गांव जे रहो से खाने सही से बात करो
explain for
रुपा
each
रुपए कर दे रहे तो मैं बोली कि
limit
रुपा रुपए के मैं इने आहो और सही मैंने उन्हें अपन आइए
equals
जाओ
next
तो
map
अभी कोई घूमे जा रही नहीं
body
से बट रुपा
property
रुपए जाओ सही
size.
मैंने और
It is
मुझे
also
उन्हें
two array.
गांव में
Yeah.
आके रुपा रुपए
If I do
अच्छा
this,
अरे
and if
बात
I
कर
do
नहीं
array,
पाऊंगी तो मैं बोला कि
what
बात कर नहीं
happens?
पाऊंगी
I
नंबर
get the array. Now I can do this.
लेकिन
I can go
आपका
out
नंबर ले ले तो
and
मैं
insert money,
फोन कर
and now I can do array. So if you forget about something, try to use your brain for, and now the two values are inserted from there. You see what I've done? And now I feel proud of myself because I figured out something without looking at documentation or anywhere else. Things work intuitively, okay? So yeah, it is very similar to JavaScript. So I guessed I can convert it into an array and then I can insert it back. So anyways, so now if I do db.user.find, I'll get Nilanjan and Hariharan. We could have changed the two array after find. Yes, that's also possible. We can do something like this. Insert many. Uh, we can come back to this operation. I'll reset. I'll repeat that. So I could have done this also array two array array. I think two array was the right function. Yeah, two array. If I could, I cannot do this. No, I cannot do this. I cannot change the values. Anyways, so what I did was first I created an array from the results of find operation on my collection. Okay. If I look at this array, I get whatever was saved in the my collections. Now what I did was I sent this array of new users. I can do let new users is equal to array. Now my new users are saved in the array, and now I can do uh, db.user.insert many, and I can do new users. Okay. These values are already inserted, so I can do something here. Duplicate is same. So what I can do is I can remove these values. So what I can basically do is db.user.remove or delete many, and in this I can send a filter which is name. I can send in colon Hariharan. One is Hariharan and second is Nitish. I'll explain this in few minutes what I'm doing here, but I'm basically deleting Nitish and Hariharan. So if I do this, delete count. Now if I again do, we can use to array this. Yeah, exactly. To array, if we just omit the ID by using projection, that is also a possible way. But now I don't need that because I've deleted the two columns. So now what I can do is I can just go back and do this, and now the two values are inserted. Previously the values were not inserted uh, because the ID was not matching. ID was already present, but now I'll do what Arnav is talking about. So let me see how I can project. So db dot my collection dot find all dot project projection. And in this projection, I need to include some things and delete some things. So let me see how to include things in projection. Just give me 1 second.
कभी वो जगह से जिंदगी काटो तो आदमी लोग के निकले
There
कि
is
मुझे
some.
फंसा ही से मैं तोड़ चलते में फंस गेलो कभी ई आवाज नहीं निकला है मुंह से और तोर मुंह से तो ई तो कहे आई रे मत
Okay, let me do what? ID colon 0. If I do this, yeah, now IDs are removed. I'll talk about projections in more detail. But basically the idea is you can take a subset or a smaller set of list or a smaller set of features from a smaller set of fields from the fields in documents. So you can remove the index from the we can remove the ID from the documents and get the documents without the ID. Now what I can do is I can insert this document into my DB again. So I can have a copy of Nitish and Hariharan. So I will go back to this, and here I can just do projection, and I can decide that I am not going to use ID for this. So I can do underscore ID colon 0. This is going to remove the ID. So first, let's do it one step at a time. Just give me 1 second. So let's do it one step at a time. So first of all, we have let result is equal to db my collection.find. And if I just do result, it is going to print these two values. But it is still in the find operator. Now what I do is result.projection, and I say that I don't want the ID. So I do underscore ID colon 0. And this should be inside a curly bracket. This means that I don't want the ID. If I enter, cursor is already initialized. Okay, I'll just do here. I'll just do projection here. Projection and curly braces underscore ID colon 0. Now this will create a cursor, and once you pass that cursor, ID will be deleted from it. So now if I do result, it is going to give me the two names without ID. You see what is happening here? Hello? Can you make some reaction? So now ID is not there in the list. So this is what projection does. The find creates a cursor, and while you are iterating over the documents, projection decides what all values from the document you are going to use. Now the next step is I can save result as result. Error was for ID or cursor? Error was for cursor. Avijit, the previous error was on the cursor, because once you call the find operator, it just passed through all the documents. There you wrote ID. Oh, is that the correct? No, I wrote it underscore ID. No, I've written underscore in quotes. That's okay. That's okay. Quotes is not a problem. That's not a problem. Quotes or no quotes is the same thing. So projection does not remove or give column permanent. It just gives an output excluding that. Yes, exactly. That is correct. Projection like select clause, it is very similar to select clause. Yes or no? That is true. Aradhya didn't understand projection, and there was somebody who didn't get. Aradhya didn't understand. Okay, no worries, Aradhya. I will try to explain it. Yes, I'll give you a break in just few seconds. Just give me few seconds. So Aradhya, imagine you have a collection of documents, and there is a pointer that's going over each of the collection. That pointer I call cursor, and that cursor is going to check all the documents. Now I can decide what all values from the documents I am going to use. So one way of deciding that is using projection. I can say ID is equal to 0, which means ID I'm not interested in. Or I can do otherwise also. I can do something like I can do name. I can do name as 1. And this is now only going to show me the name. So if I do result now, it's only going to show me the name. It's not going to show me the age. Okay. This is what projection does. It decides what all to include and exclude from the list of from the documents that I am addressing. Whereas what is 1? 1 means to include and 0 means to exclude. Cursor not initialized means why ID like this? ID is always included. ID is usually included. That's part of the document, so it is included usually. As until you remove it, it will be there. Okay. Radhya. I'll discuss object ID towards the end of the class. What is object ID? I'll explain it later. When we do not mention projection, it is like saying select start. Exactly, Arnab. You got it exactly correct. Okay. 1 means to include, 0 means to exclude. Okay. So those were a couple of things. Now I'll take a short break right now. And once we come back from the break, we'll discuss further. I hope you're getting the feel for MongoDB's PowerShell. Okay. I'll discuss cursor again once we come back from the break. Just remind me that, Avijit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a short break.
क्या रे का रे इतना हल्ला करत हिस रे चुप रह नहीं
चुपे रह बस कुकुर पढ़त होते के बाधा लगे को दे नीचे फेतरे के सुती जानी लगती छोरिया है के दूध पिया के लेस रहानी हले पढ़त होते के ड्रामा लगे एक ठो आवाज दिसा तो का के पढ़त तो मुड़ी की पढ़त ही का बत जानी लगे नीचे फेते ही दे टांग पस रही के असला कुकुर 3000 भर भर के पढ़त ही खोस आवाज ना साला इतना बाप पा हर जगह रही के पढ़त जानी नहीं के पढ़त ही सा होश आवाज ना थई की हरम खोर जय भाड़ में हो मैं जोदा तो हला का हाई है इसलिए पढ़त 3000 देवत एक पैसा और इसला के हराम खोर में काम करे जामू ई पैसा लगे के हरामी झूठ मूठ कर रिकॉर्ड के चालू कर लेवी अति मोबाइल के और नींद ही देवी तरीका है के पढ़े कर हराम खोर बाप मार का ठेकान नहीं ला खेत डाल घर सब बांधर छाना मरियम कर जिंदगी में एकला हराम खोर पापी नहीं गले मरियम में दुल्हा निमन तक से करे जिंदगी में के ठक देला के ठके एक कुकुर के ठके जिंदगी में मरियम मथी पैसे पोइल पैसे के मोर माय बाप बड़का कर रहा इसला शैतान के चुपचाप भात खाए और पटबेल बंद निकल बाहर भाकुने तानियल ड्रामा लगे इसला रोज दिन आज नहीं होता रोज दिन रोज स्थिति है तो पगली ही कर चुदा तू है पगला ही आपको पगली की पूरे ना फिर समय से पगली हो जाने की पाले